Today, we're diving into a really mind-bending story from the ancient Gandhavyuha Sutra. It's an incredible tale about a student who's on a quest for enlightenment, a master who teaches with, well, straight-up magic, and a profound lesson that's hidden inside a spectacular illusion.
So let's just start with that, because that's really the core question here. How can something that isn't real, a vision, a mirage, be used to teach one of the most important truths of all? It sounds like a paradox, but we're about to see exactly how it works. Okay, so let's set the scene. Our story kicks off with a young pilgrim, a seeker named Sudhana. Now, this guy has been traveling all over the place, looking for guides to help him on his path. And his journey has finally led him to a truly great teacher. Sudhana walks right up to this master, whose name is Mahādeva, and he just puts it all out there with this incredibly direct and heartfelt question. You can feel the sincerity, right? He's not looking for easy answers. He wants to know the how. How does someone actually do this? How do you walk the path of wisdom and compassion? But Mahādeva doesn't just launch into a lecture. Instead, he does something, well, kinda strange. He stretches out his hands, somehow takes the water of the four great seas, and just washes his face with it. Then he starts talking, not about the how, but about what a true teacher, a Bodhisattva, really is. And just so we're on the same page, in this tradition, that's an enlightened being who puts off their own ultimate peace just to help everyone else. So he explains that beings like this are unbelievably rare, like a sacred lotus blooming in a world of ordinary flowers. They aren't just teachers, they're our refuge, a safe harbor for everyone. They're like a great light in the darkness, a guide for when you're totally lost, and a guardian of wisdom itself. He's basically telling Sudhana, hey, you need to understand that finding a real guide, that's a huge deal. And then Mahādeva finally names his own special skill. He says, I have achieved a bodhisattva liberation called the cloud net. Now, just stop and think about that name for a second. The cloud net. It kind of hints at something vast, right? Something interconnected, but maybe not entirely solid, like, a net made of clouds. It's a perfect name for what's about to happen. So naturally, Sudhana asks what this cloud net actually is. And instead of trying to explain it with more words, Mahādeva decides to just show him. What follows is one of the most spectacular, over-the-top displays of magical power you can imagine. It unfolds piece by piece. And boom, just like that, the world around Sudhana completely shifts. Appearing right in front of him are mountains of treasure. And I'm not talking about a few treasure chests. We're talking literal towering mountains of shimmering gold, bright silver, and that deep blue lapis lazuli, all piled up as high as he can see. And the vision doesn't stop there. Just when he's taking that in, more mountains rise up from the ground, but this time they're made of every jewel you could possibly imagine. Diamonds, rubies, you name it. Plus, shimmering crowns and countless priceless ornaments. It must have been just a blinding, dazzling spectacle. Then, the vision shifts from sight to the other senses. Suddenly, the air gets thick with the most incredible fragrances, as whole oceans of flowers, garlands, and exotic perfumes just materialize out of nowhere. It's a total sensory overload. And it keeps coming. Next up, a torrent, like a waterfall, of the finest clothes and silken banners just rushes into the scene. Bolts of vibrant, colorful fabric piling up higher and higher, a tidal wave of luxury. Now, sound joins the illusion. The air fills with this beautiful, heavenly music and all kinds of entertainment. It's a symphony of pleasure, designed to appeal to every single worldly desire you could have. And for the grand finale, armies of countless beautiful maidens appear. This is the culmination of this overwhelming, absolutely fantastical vision. So now Sudhana's just standing there, right in the middle of this impossible dream of ultimate wealth, beauty, and pleasure. So what on earth is going on here, right? Is this just Mahādeva showing off his power? Is it some kind of weird test to see if Sudhana gets distracted? No, not at all. This brilliant, dazzling illusion, it's actually a classroom. It's a tool with a very, very specific purpose. Mahādeva turns to the completely stunned Sudhana and tells him, take it, take all of it. He says to use these imaginary treasures to provide for other people, to inspire them to be generous, to learn how to give things away, even the things that are hardest to let go of. The illusion, you see, becomes a tool to teach a very real virtue.
Now here is the absolutely crucial point. This isn't some one-size-fits-all magic trick. The cloud net is a super sophisticated teaching method. For someone who's greedy, for instance, Mahādeva can show them an illusion of an unclean, impure world to help them detach. For an angry or arrogant person, he can conjure up terrifying, blood-drinking demons to kind of shock them into humility and gentleness. And for someone who's just lazy and apathetic, he can show them visions of disasters, sickness, and death to inspire a real sense of urgency and effort. Each illusion is a precision tool, custom-made to counteract a specific inner poison. It's brilliant.
So after revealing the true purpose behind his incredible power, the lesson still isn't over. Mahādeva gives Sudhana one last piece of wisdom, and honestly, it might be the most important one of all.
With just astounding humility, Mahādeva, this is the guy, remember, who can conjure mountains of gold and oceans of flowers, he tells Sudhana that this one technique, this cloud net, that's all he really knows. He asks, how could he, with his one little skill, possibly know or speak of the full merits of all the great bodhisattvas out there? And that's the second huge lesson. A true master is humble enough to know that their own vast knowledge is still just a single drop in an infinite ocean of wisdom.
And so he doesn't say, congratulations, you've graduated. Not even close. Instead, he sends Sudhana on his way to find the next teacher, an earth god named Stable. And this reveals the third great lesson of the story. The path to enlightenment is endless. The greatest teachers know they are just one stop on a much, much longer journey. So this ancient story leaves us with a really powerful tool for our own lives. It's asking us to look at our own biggest challenges, our own greed, our anger, our laziness, whatever it is, and to imagine, what would we need to see to be shocked into a new way of being? What illusion would work on us? So I'll leave you with that thought. What would your cloud net look like?